49ers are in such bad shape, they gotta keep a rugby player.
And Dylan Thompson.
Dylan Thompson, baby.
That guy
You'd have
was
signed him along with
sharp.
15 years ago.
I was okay.
It'll be a bad, bad season.
But they're wearing black jersey.
Well, it's
So
pro.
they were just throwing the bus.
Yeah.
And then Mike Davis, it was awesome.
Got a screenshot of the screenshot.
What is it?
That's kind of a stat.
Take that 56, that was a perfect night.
Good. I mean, he really did.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long season. But hey, the Braves won last night. A little boy. Only took 13 tries.
Smallest
People
crowd
thought the
in
Davis-
history of Citizens Bank Park last night.
People thought the Braves were gonna roll over the whole time, you know, they're just cutting another.
I don't know about you, Dave, but I turned on the ninth and they were up 7-2 and I was still sweating. Like, oh God. If it's possible for the Phillies to hit a 5-run shot right here, they're gonna do it. Howard's gonna come up and put one in the river. It's like, well, that's worth 5 runs.
19 and 20 street
Unknown
doing
before, yeah.
They've won a couple of games since then.
It's kinda like with the Nats. After Bryce Harper's held off you for 2 straight days, I quit pitching to him.
Yeah.
Nope, threw to him again and he checked it.
Yeah.
The other day I was in there, they had a show press box that they
No, I'm good.
Yes. Because the thing is, they changed
Yeah,
the,
I don't think
they
this year's are good.
changed the cast member, they had that reader.
4 hours, 4 things.
But I haven't had to go out to use it yet.
Yeah.
But they did change
I
it.
know they redid it up there though. They fixed it.
Somebody asked me for it, and
Yeah, I
I gave her the old one, and it didn't work.
Last time I was up there was for a scrimmage and everything was still going. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, apparently they finally took down all the 2000, 2000.
We got some goal in one, and now we got water.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much more time I need to see Deion Brown.
Freezing rain.
Or Tyler Dee.
How come the name is not stated? $200,000 a pop.
And even, you got one, 10 cents.
Mercedes Superdome.
It's like, really? I mean, I've never seen
Why would you have any kind?
Well, apparently,
All I know is yesterday,
apparently.
Sherry and I were having a conversation.
Someone here asked about one of those fit watches.
What's a good story? No, he's not gonna play.
Somebody said.
Oh, she did anyway.
I don't know. I'm just waiting for you.
He started wearing it last year. Because somebody dug up an article from Cookie Sports.
What, you said it wasn't?
No, he started wearing it last year. I'm not ready for that. He said he was wearing it.
Be starting right now.
18, 21.
Who do we? Brendan Wallace, Sean Carson, David Johnson, Scott Moore. Except for Sean Carson.
See you in a minute. I'll see you later.
He already changed his career. He's now the X Factor.
And just like the X Factor show, he'll be arrested. 2 weeks. No, we'll talk to him.
Last
Yeah,
year,
me too.
and then Friday night, we actually had break two. We didn't get back whatever on Monday. It's like, all right. Yeah.
Could be the nice part of LA. You're going to USC, so
Yeah, what this sucks is I'll be gone for home for like 10 days. We'd be away from my son. I'm not sure how long we'll be away. Like, that's fine. Fun to weekend, but I don't have to work. 3-day weekend like an Asheville. No, we'll play like every Sunday. No, I never did before. It was always something.
Oh, he's going to be carrying that over to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I always miss that. We're always. Back to Virgin Islands. That's the best one.
The only bad part is playing in them rickety gyms.
Well, the one in Virgin Islands is actually good. University of Virgin Islands.
Oh, yeah, because there's a couple of them.
Yeah, it's actually good.
Like the one that North Carolina men played in last year,
Yeah.
that thing was awful.
Yeah,
It was pitch black, dark.
The one we played the last 3 times I've been, it was good. I mean, it's a good no problem with the phone. And when we
I gotta cover you, that's
It was like cats trying to climb up on a wall. It was hilarious, man. Yeah, I'm good. And we'll see cats on the wall, at the top of the wall. You better like that stuff.
6 favorites, 3 plays for 3 different people. Oh, jeez.
So what did age you give this?
Yeah.
You got a better sense than that. I remember listening, I came to the board, listening to you.
Oh, put my hand with the phone up my ear.
I was like buddies, Peter's house.
I was gonna make a lot of sense there for a while. When I saw you,
So I was sitting at the kitchen table listening, trying to, what? Because it kept going back and forth, and they went ahead and AJ hit the three, and then AJ started bringing it back. Oh, okay, you're still undefeated.
We're going to get started here with our press conference. We have tailbacks Sean Carson and Brandon Wilds. Questions, David?
Brandon, coach says you bruised up your shoulder a little bit against North Carolina. Do you feel good? Do you think you'll be able to play on Saturday?
Oh, yes, I'll be able to play against Saturday against Kentucky. I will.
Over there to the left, Josh.
Brandon, we hear about offensive coaches scripting plays, and I don't know if Coach Spurrier does that, but my question is, when you go into a game, how clear are you before it kicks off, this is what we're going to do all day, or does that kind of evolve in terms of play calling after he sees something and y'all get into the game a little bit?
Well, when the game starts, we usually have a set plan, but depending on the defense or the adjustment that they might make, we might adjust too, so it just depends on the adjustment of the defense.
To the left, Gene.
Sean, you've been around here a long time. How has your role, leadership-wise, sort of evolved as you've been here? And do the guys have any old man nicknames for you or anything like that?
They don't got no nicknames for me. I just have to be patient and wait my turn like I did in North Carolina.
What about just the leadership part?
I don't talk that much, but I lead by action.
David?
Sean, has your life changed like walking around on campus any this week after scoring the big touchdown, getting a few more handshakes, pats on the back, things like that?
No, I don't be on campus. I just got an internship, so I don't have classes.
To the left, Pete.
For both of you, how good did it feel to kind of get the running game off to such a good start on Thursday night, and perhaps build on it and be the bulk of this offense this season?
Brandon first.
Well, I feel like the running game is going good. Of course, I want the ball a little bit more, but just get what I take. But it's going good. Hopefully, we'll be able to run the ball a lot more this coming week.
Sean.
I think they're going to give us the ball more because we got the older group and we've been here the longest, so I think they trust us the most right now.
Kyle. Brian.
It's okay. Brandon, how do you see Sean's game added to what y'all do with the running game? What do you think he brings to the fold?
Everything. All us speed, power, agility. So I mean, we all bring different things to the table. We all different sizes, but bring the same thing to the table. So it's a great thing to have.
Brandon, what's the difference, if there's any, from running the ball when you take that direct snap versus taking the handoff? Is there anything that's technically different other than you just take one step out of the process?
I like it more because I can kind of see what's going on a little bit more. The field is a little bit more spread out, so just having that, just one less guy in the box, it means a lot of difference in the world. So it's a good thing.
So you guys like that?
Yes.
Were you surprised that so many guys took a snap Thursday night, or did you all feel like that was going to happen?
Well, in practice, everybody rotates in, so it's just whenever your names get called, so just be ready.
David.
For both of you guys, it seemed like last week Brandon and David kind of handled it for the first three. Sean comes in the fourth with the fresh legs. Is that something that you guys had talked about and that you might keep doing, or is that just the way it worked out last week?
Oh, that's just the way it worked out last week, but that's the game plan for each week. We all rotate in practice, so just whoever names is called, just got to be ready.
To the left, Josh, and then David.
For both of you, how much of a factor is last year's game in avenging that loss?
It's a new year, so we can't dwell over the loss we had last year. We just got to go out there and get better every week and get ready for this week.
Yeah, past is the past. We can only focus on right now, so hopefully we can go out there and get a win.
Brandon, for a team that had so much problem running out the clock last year on offense, how gratifying was it to kill off those last few minutes after Sky's second interception? And are you thinking at all right, this is something we couldn't do last year, let's do it now?
Well, we kind of did do it last year, but I mean, it's always a good thing. Just running the clock out means a lot. It also means we can run the ball too, so it'll help our offense as well as our defense. Keep defense off the field and keep offense on the field as much as possible. So that's a great thing.
Sean, where are you having your internship right now, and what do you want to do with your degree once your football is over, whenever that is?
I'm doing my internship at Hyman with the athletic director, and I don't know what I want to do right now so far.
Connor, seemed to be kind of getting his feet wet. He was banged up a little bit last week. Do you guys kind of put more pressure on yourselves to go out there and give him something to lean on as he continues to get experience?
No, we don't got to put too much pressure on it. We just want to run the ball and make it easier for him to throw.
Thank you, guys. Isaiah will bring you up now. Our next player is Isaiah Johnson, so questions for him.
Isaiah, you guys seem to be playing, especially with the defensive backs, pretty far off the ball and off the line. Is that part of John's scheme? Is that what you guys prefer to do, and why?
Yeah, it is. Coach Hoke, he has basically a lot of simple schemes that he keeps for our defensive backs to make it easier on us. And, yeah, it's just basically just to show that we're in. And it's just to basically try to show as much disguise as we can on the offense. So.
Isaiah, from all the football you've played, how valuable is a guy like Sean Carson to have as kind of a change of pace guy, or even a third team guy that's that good and that effective?
He's very valuable. You know, he's like he said, he shows his leaderships by his actions. You know, he says he's not really too vocal, but I mean, to have a guy like that in the team is always good for the young kids to look up to, and for even myself, just being new here. I can kind of come to Sean if I want to, you know, and learn some stuff about just how everything works over here since he's been here so long. But our running backs, they all do a great job, and yeah.
Speaking of leadership, do you feel like you're morphing into a leadership role with this defense?
Yes, sir, I am. I feel like I am. You know, just getting here, I'm trying to get my feet wet too, and teach some of these younger guys what to do, and still look up to the guys that are my age, and you know, we're just trying to carry this team, help this team get to where it needs to be. So.
You got your first action, obviously, on Thursday night. Just how was it kind of running out there on the field for the first time with your teammates?
Yeah, it felt great, especially to be here. You know, it's been since, I guess, last November since I played at KU, and it was a surreal feeling playing in the NFL stadium and playing around these guys. So, I had a fun time.
Has there been any difficult transition for you at the new school?
Not really too much. You know, I've been to a couple schools, but it's never really been a transitional problem for me. Just being around the coaches and the players, you know, I fit in along with them well, so nothing really.
You tweeted out a couple of days ago, you said that playing in South Carolina has given me confidence to take my game to another level. Talk about that. And Saturday, when you sat there and watched Kansas lose to South Dakota State at home, did that sort of justify your decision in your mind to leave there and come here to South Carolina?
No, not really. I have a lot of respect over there at Kansas. You know, they done a great job. They helped me out. And just playing here at South Carolina is just opened a lot of new doors for me, being around these coaches and these players. And, you know, they know what I want to accomplish and what we all want to accomplish. So, I mean, like I said, coming here was just a blessing and opportunity and for us to see.
Isaiah, how much of what Sky Moore is doing is just patrolling the middle of the field like he did the other day?
He's doing a lot. You know, Sky is a great player. He pushes us every day in practice. He's real vocal. He wants to be the best out there all the time, and having him out there is real good for our defense and our schemes and stuff too. So,
what makes him so good at that position and with that responsibility?
To be honest, I really don't know how to tell you too much because I'm not really around him all the time. But, you know, just his athletic ability, and he does a great job like reading the quarterback and making plays on the ball. So, I don't know.
Isaiah, in the first half last Thursday, North Carolina seemed to be putting up a lot of yards. What kind of adjustments did you guys make at halftime? How did you change things up to kind of really put them in a box the second half?
Honestly, I don't think we really made too many adjustments. It was just basically us just not performing at what we do best. But Coach Hoke, like he emphasized, just do what we do best, and come out the second half. And, I mean, we did, so.
What was Coach Hoke's opinion of the tackling on Thursday night?
We got to get better at it. You know, you always want to improve on your tackling and always want to have a higher percentage in that. And, yeah, like I said, just come out this week and, you know, focus on the minor mistakes we had in the game and, you know, bring as much effort as we can to Kentucky and play hard, play fast, play physical. So.
Isaiah, how did you feel you performed in your first game? Do you think that you kind of did what you wanted to do, and what aspects do you think you need to improve on?
I feel like I did it decent. You know, I know I missed that first tackle on that touchdown they had, but just minor things like finding my better leverage and my angles on my tackling, and I'm just trying to fly around, making as many plays as I can, help this defense become a championship defense that we want to be. So.
Isaiah, there wasn't a lot of rotating in the secondary. I think you played every snap. Is that something that y'all come to expect as a defense, to be out there for every play if you're playing well, or was it just kind of this game that y'all didn't rotate much?
I guess it was kind of this game we didn't rotate much. Coach Spurrier, like you said, he tries to get he wants to get a lot of more guys in there, but I guess just at the pace that we were going, I guess we performed well, and Coach Hoke just felt like we were doing good out there, so we didn't need to come out the game. So.
You mentioned Coach Hoke trying to talk about improving the tackling. What else did y'all pick up on that has to be improved this week as you went back this weekend and watched the film?
I guess just running to the ball, trying not to have too many lows, because you want all 11 guys around the ball, and just little things. I think the minor things were just hurting us in the game this past weekend that we'll be able to fix this coming week for Kentucky. So.
Isaiah, better conditioning was a big part of this offseason for the defense. Do you think you guys showed that better conditioning and better athleticism against North Carolina?
Yeah, we were flying around. We were all trying to get our hats on the ball, and like I said, just going hard this week and being ready and prepared for Kentucky this Saturday is what we're focused on. And like I said, we're trying to play hard, play fast, play physical, and read our keys, stay in our alignment, our assignment, our technique, everything Coach Hope emphasizes every day to us, so we can be fresh on Saturday.
Isaiah, I realize you weren't here last year, but have you heard your teammates talk yet about the Kentucky game last year and what it might mean to them to pay that back?
Yeah, I hear it every day. They're real passionate about it. They wanted to win that last year, and we talk about it every day. We want to get better this week so we can beat these guys Saturday and I guess get revenge. So.
Anything else? Thank you, Isaiah.
Which one do you want?
They want to put the questions. People can just.
What was that 2 years ago? Last year.
What was that?
I got a can of drunk and she said,
I remember them doing that signing day.
Which one might like to get, don't do anything. Just taking your.
But I was just like,
Right.
it's just like,
Depends on how the questions are.
It's Tuesday.
As to what kind of gestures.
The only thing we need to concentrate on is this.
Yeah.
That's just like.
That's probably the funniest thing I've ever seen.
The podium was too loud.
Yes, maybe.
It had to be a sleep creation.
Well, he's part of NWA, nitwit with attitude.
8 years of climbing over.
Yeah, that's the other principle. It's like from the boys that tries to.
Oh, it's a little crowd.
What do you do with that?
Well, it had to go through committee, had to be researched. It had to be, got overturned multiple times. Okay, we're ready whenever we need to put out bids and world bid. Good primaries and. Don't they do anything? Really? Long. So we're good. I was on the photo deck. I was in and out. I was inside. That's not halfway. That was very good. Yeah.
Those are stats you're keeping up with.
You have to. And there was no, they didn't have any true vote. No. Well, they did, like, right when we got there. No three-piece. And they. Yeah. Whoa.
You know what? I'm just gonna sit here and take it. I'm not even gonna fight. Whatever. All right, everybody's gonna have it. He's short. He's poorly dressed. All right, just get it in. Whatever.
Your penmanship is atrocious.
Penmanship. Yep. I use it.
One question. From the. Expect that from him.
Wow, I mean, it's like he was.
We're filling in the gaps till Frank gets started.
For years.
Yeah, we're easy. Really, we talked about it last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that.
Pretty easy. I
Yeah, we executed our game plan. You know, I really wasn't going to talk about you, but now I am.
There was no delay in the start.
Yeah.
No penalties.
Hey, we executed that one, and most people had their
There's not a whole lot going on in the news industry then, clearly.
Oh, you know, sometimes you just have to see what you can. Reach out to the red ones. Clear one early. You haven't seen that? Oh, yeah.
Whatever I did.
They beat Jackson 84-14. It was 55-7 at the half. It was Texan back and forth.
They do really
This is embarrassing. We're not even really trying. We've got the subs in. Then they went to a running clock. They could have gotten 100.
over the years, it's 2000 and 2000.
You know, they don't finish president on Monday, figured out this.
Like the county, like the LA Rays. The Baltimore Colts.
What's wrong with recording? Taping. It's like a maybe I'm missing. No, we did it. That's where they were 180 or 280 now. How are you? We tried. My senior year, I'm biggest fan. I know that's
It's a tough world.
Makes it kind of tough.
Well, you know, it's first days
You're all last year.
Okay, good morning, afternoon. This is the game that we try to bring awareness to a wonderful charity called Curing Kids Cancer. Obviously, it's something I know we all would like to pitch in and do our part to help. And our coaches will be wearing this whistle. and I think some wristbands and so forth. And this is our game that we bring awareness to this curing kids cancer, something I'm sure we all like to do our best to help eradicate someday. Kentucky, a good team, pretty good team. They barely missed being bowl eligible last year. I think they were 5-1 and lost their last 6 games. So they are very capable of having winning season, going to bowl games, and so forth. Mark Stoops, I think, has done an excellent job there, and they're very close to being a winning team, and very easily could be this year. They beat Louisiana Lafayette, I think, last week. Scored a lot of points, 40-33, and we got to be ready to play very well. Hopefully we can make a lot of improvement. That's probably what we need to worry about, see if we can line up and get the ball snapped, eliminate some careless penalties, and try to look like a pretty good team when we go out here Saturday night. Looking forward to a big home crowd, first home game of the season. A lot of our players have never played here, so it'll be a wonderful experience playing in front of our crowd. So we're looking forward to it. TV game, as all of them just about are. So 7 o'clock, hopefully the weather. 7:30 now, okay. 7:30 or 7:39, I heard it could also be. So we're looking forward to seeing if we can play much better this Saturday night.
David?
Steve, you guys were kind of banged up coming out of the UNC game. How is Connor's health and some of the other guys that were hurt?
I think a lot of the guys are getting back healthy. I believe Connor Mitch is scheduled to practice today. Terry Guger, Debo Samuels can practice a bit from what our trainer Clint Haggard tells us. So most of the guys are pretty healthy. The only serious injury occurred in practice again when one of the D linemen fell into Cody Waldrop's leg and cracked a bone right above his ankle there. So he'll be out for some time. Okay, Josh.
Steve, do you script plays to begin a game? Are you one of those guys?
No, we haven't done that, but we will have a play ready this week. I told the guys yesterday, well, we had a play. We told them in the locker room. But what happened, we went out there, and North Carolina was not out there yet. So our guys just stood around and waited, and the clock was running down. We're trying to yell over on the sideline. I don't think anybody could hear us much. For such a small crowd, it seemed to be loud in there. I don't know. We had to pick up our foot to snap the ball instead of the quarterback yelling from the shotgun. So anyway, we waited and got a delay of game on the opening play of the season. I don't know if that's ever happened before, but we managed to do that. So hopefully we will have a couple of plays ready to go early this week.
In terms of how you call a game, how much of it do you have in your mind prior to the game, and how much of it evolves as you see the way you're?
Well, everybody has a game plan, and then you stay flexible and go from there. So and you try to find out what's working, what's not working.
Do you have the sense that you adjust on the fly more than most coaches these days?
I think most coaches adjust according to the score, according to how you're doing, and so forth. You know, one of those guys said that little sweep around right end seemed to work pretty well, the one Sean Carson scored on. I said, yeah, and then we started running it over and over, and it was also a key play that Brandon Wiles ran 10 or 12 yards to help run out the clock there at the end of the game. So most coaches always, if something's working, you try to do it over and over until the other team stops it. And then you got a list of ball plays. You hope to use your game plan.
Steve-O, with 3 running backs like you have, is it by design to kind of have one fresh for the fourth quarter like Sean was last week, or is that just the way it worked out?
I think it just worked out that way. And then Sean had several good runs. And then, of course, Brandon came in there at the end and had several good ones also. David struggled a little bit, dropping a couple of passes that normally he catches. But he's good back, and Kentucky, they've given up some rush yards, as everybody knows. we have to try to mix it up, just like we tried to do last week, and hopefully our pass game will be a lot better than last week. So we're working on it. We'll work on it today.
Steve, Dylan Thompson made it in the NFL. Obviously, Connor Shaw's had a start. Meanwhile, some of the spread, fast-paced guys, Menzel, RG3, haven't done very well, and guys like Taj Boyd haven't even made it at all. Is something like that, the way you run your offensive system, something you could leverage in recruiting?
I haven't really thought about that or paid much attention to that. Dylan is he's built for a drop-back passer. You know, he's about 6'3" or so, and good footwork, so forth. So I thought he certainly had a chance to make a team and eventually play in the NFL. And Connor's just a tremendous athlete that can run and throw. So I hadn't really paid a lot of attention to that. It's there's a fine line up there, NFL. Tim Tebow wins the Heisman, and so who knows? Some make it, some don't. But that's why we always try to tell our college players, you get a chance to play 4 years of eligibility, and don't throw one away by maybe jumping to the league too early. And still, many players jump early and give up that 1 year, and then they look back and wish they'd maybe played another year of college ball. But anyway, it's all individual decision and so forth. And I think sometimes quarterbacks, if they get with the right team, they're much better off than maybe a team that doesn't have a real strong offensive line, real strong running game. When quarterbacks have a lot of good players around them, they tend to have a chance to succeed. Yeah.
What do you recall thinking during the fourth quarter of the Kentucky game last year about your defense, and why do you think or maybe hope that it'll be defensively better this time around?
Well, hopefully the whole scenario, we didn't tackle very well, didn't get lined up as quickly as we'd hoped. And again, we had some injuries that hit us through the course of last year, and a lot of guys we thought would play most of the whole game were not finishing games. But we played well at times. We really did. Obviously, we didn't play well at the end of the games. Yeah, I wish we'd run out the clock when we had the 1 touchdown lead, but we didn't. We had to punt, and that happened 3 games. And then some other times we ran the clock out. I mean, we play a lot of these games now. If you guys have noticed, almost every dang one of them, you guys run out the clock, or you're probably going to lose. And sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Last week, we were fortunate to make 2 first downs and run out, 340, something like that. But that's just sort of where we are right now. And we're trying to get better. We need to improve. We need to improve on offense and defense. We gave up some yards, but we were tremendous in the red zone the last game. You can't depend on that happening every week. But that's just sort of the type of team we are right now. It's winning by 3 or 4 touchdowns. I don't know if that's in our DNA right now.
Steve, following up with that, last week you were able to make the plays on both offense and defense to run out the clock and win the game. This week, do you feel it's necessary just to remind the team about what happened in Kentucky, or you just
No,
leave that?
no, they all know what happened. And really, I've always believed last year's game with whoever you play is history. Every game stands on its own merit. Every game stands on its own merit. We got beat last year. We got beat several times last year in a similar way, and we're trying to prevent it from happening this year. Obviously, we'd love to have a 2 or 3 touchdown win somewhere along the way, but I don't know. It could happen, but we just got to prepare to be involved in a lot of close games. We really do, and maybe we'll get comfortable in that situation.
Steve, to follow up on Josh's question from earlier, how much of using so many guys behind center last Thursday night was on the fly, and how much of that was planned going in?
Oh, we planned it a bit, and probably we'll plan it a little bit again. As everyone knows, it does create maybe one less defender in the box, as they say. But other teams, they do that to us also. In fact, Kentucky did it to us a bunch last year. Their quarterback ran out, and we couldn't tackle their kid there in the fourth quarter. So we'll see it also this week, pretty sure.
And also, with Cody's injury, Zach Bailey is now your number 2 center. Does he snap the ball well enough that you're comfortable putting him out there?
Well, Clayton Stadnick's also here. Clayton is a light center, but he's 250, 55 or 60, something like that. He can play in there, so he's practicing in there also.
Steve, Connor looked pretty comfortable running that zone read, keeping the ball himself last week in the first half. Are you comfortable with him running the ball a good bit in that scenario?
Yeah, he did do a good job, and he got up in there and dove and avoided a hard hit. The big hit he got was when he rolled out to the left here, and we absolutely had nobody open, and probably should have just thrown it away and got smacked pretty good, holding on to it a little long. But he held on to the ball, and obviously we're happy with the turnover. We didn't do a lot of things very well, but we won the turnover game, and we ran the clock out. So we did some good things to win the game offensively. Jarrell Adams recovered a fumble, and let's see who else recovered one.
Googer. Terry Googer.
Googer got the kickoff return fumble. Yeah.
Steve, Farrow's touches Thursday night. Did that work like you wanted it to? Would you like to get him more, or is it just going to evolve week to week?
Well, we hope we can, get the ball downfield at some receivers and hit some passes as we go along, and not just have to snap it to him. We're hoping we can really get all the receivers. But again, that's the way the game turned out. Carlton Hurd, he didn't even get a ball thrown to him, except that ill-fated little handoff sweep that center snapped it before he was supposed to, but he said he couldn't hear, so that's when we decided we had to lift our foot the rest of the game. So, they all would like to catch some passes. They'd all like running backs like to run with it, and receivers like to catch some passes. And receivers did a pretty good job blocking downfield for the run game. But we got a lot of improving to do, and hopefully it'll show up this week.
Is Lorenzo Nunez still part of your offensive plan?
Yeah, he gets a lot of snaps in practice, and again, there's a chance he'll be out there this week.
Any chance you'd look at him at wide receiver if you don't have more guys who can make plays out there?
We haven't put him out there. Jamari Smith, young man, played running back here. That was with the defense. We've actually moved him over to wide out, give us a little help there because of injuries. So Jamari's working with the wide receivers now.
Did you have receivers running open against North Carolina, or were they?
Not many. They played they had a pretty good scheme, and they covered. They covered well. We didn't have as many open as we normally do.
Do you expect any changes in the rotation there?
A rotation of what?
The wide receivers.
No, not too much. Not too much right now.
You said that sweep around right end worked pretty well for you. How did you like Mason Zandy in his first start at right tackle and the combination with Will Sport over there?
Yeah, they did okay. The key blocks, Jarrell Adams, he blocked the defensive end well on just about all those little sweep plays. And then Alan Nod and Sport came around and did some pretty good blocking. And Zandy was okay over there also. Okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Have you talked with John or Lorenzo about Marquavius Lewis and what they thought of how he did in his debut?
Yeah, he did okay. He had a solid game. A lot of the players played, very, very solid. I think North Carolina has a good offensive line. They were fundamentally sound and did a pretty good job. Kelsey Griffin, of course, got one very good sack, and then he combined with one or two of our other guys for another sack. So Quay had a good, solid game, Mo. Very good.
What makes Sky Moore so effective in that sort of middle of the field roving spot?
Yeah, Sky's got a knack of finding the ball, making interceptions, and so forth. Some players can do it, some sort of get lost, but he gets in his area and watches the quarterback. All of our players are doing that very well. Kirk Botkin, I think, does an excellent job helping teach it. John Hoke, Lorenzo, they all, and but we're playing a little bit more zone and mixing it with man to man. And that's about what everybody does now. So yeah, we were in a zone on both those interceptions. Definitely.
Steve, how good was it to see Sean Carson kind of break loose and get that go-ahead score, especially after being here for so long?
Well, it won the game, helped win the game for us. There's so many plays when you win 17-13. You can count 10 plays and say without that one, we may not have won. And certainly the long run for the touchdown was crucial. We didn't score after that. We had a nice little drive that we messed up, 3rd and inches, didn't make. But it worked out, and we feel very fortunate, and we got some improving to do, and we're going to try our best to show it here Saturday night, 7:30, 7:39, whenever it kicks off.
You were talking about the punter today. When you punt like that, how much easier does it make it for the defense, or what you're trying to do defensively?
Oh, I don't know. It's just if he averages 46 or 36, sometimes it doesn't make a heck of a lot of a difference. The way the ball is going up and down the field a lot of times these days. But Sean Kelly can catch it and get it out. That's what's important. And our snapper, Drew Williams, is very good. So that's important. You don't have misfires in the punt game. And we punted dead against Clemson. We had them on 1 or 2 yard line. Next thing I knew, they were going that way. So sometimes where the ball is not as important as who's got it and for how long they got it. Yeah, the way the ball goes up and down the field now is different than in the old days of playing field position and all that. It's still important, but I don't think quite as important as it was 30 years ago. Yep.
Steve, on Saturday before the game, the university is going to unveil the statue of George Rogers at the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
You, of course, have your statue down at Florida. What's it feel like when you get honored like that? And is there any feeling that, gosh, this kind of sets me up here?
I think it's wonderful for George. Yeah, wonderful that our school is recognizing Heisman Trophy winner and a player that represents us after his college days all over the country, everywhere he goes. He's proud of South Carolina, wears his gear everywhere. And Sterling Sharp also, NFL Hall of Fame guy that does the same thing. So, yeah, I think we're all very happy the statue of George is going up. And hopefully we'll have another player some year get one up there.
What did you feel like when they put one up for you?
Oh, I was honored and so forth, along with the other 2 quarterbacks that played down there. Yeah, we were all very thankful, appreciative. And I still got a day job though that I got to worry about, so I don't sit around and think about that too much. All right. See you guys this weekend. All right. Got me another whistle here. All right, Elizabeth.
He texted Andrew and he had an issue. He was still trying to get here.
Up yet? Ty is here, has a sheet for you to sign, so please be sure to get it. And we'll see you after practice. You can sign for it.